Hey friends, look what we made. We made pumpkin bread. It's so good. I already tried it. So let me show you how we make it. It's super easy. It's actually in a bundt pan, but you can do it in loaf pans. So however you want to do it. I'm going to flip this back over, but just show you. Nice and pretty. So yeah, I'll show you how we do it. It's super easy. It tastes so freaking good. And it's the best time of year to do it, the fall. Pumpkin and all the cinnamon and spices. And this is something that we bring whenever we do Thanksgiving or any holiday meal. This is something we contribute to the meal as a dessert. And it is going to win everybody over. So give it a try. I'll show you how we do it now. All right, so we got 2 bowls out here. Wet ingredients, dry ingredients. So the dry ingredients will go into the wet ingredients. So use the larger bowl if you have 2 different size bowls. Use a larger bowl for the wet ingredients because everything's going to go into it eventually. Just a tip, because I've done it backwards before or not made sure there's enough room before. So all of the wet ingredients will go in here, including the pumpkin. So this is it takes a 15-ounce can. This is a large can. I was going to split it with pumpkin bread and then make pumpkin pie later with the rest of it. Scale's at 0. We need 15 ounces. You know what? I should change ounce. There we go. Okay. Get close enough. That's going to have to be close enough. Kind of smell like baby food. It's weird. And this pumpkin bread is perfect for the holidays. It is so good. Okay, all you gotta do is move the bowl around and you get how much you want. Okay, that's what we need. So yeah, pumpkin, fall, that is the palette of the season. Okay. This is a family favorite recipe. It is so, so good. One cup of vegetable oil. I'm using avocado. Actually, while we have the oil out, we're going to oil our pan. You can use loaf pans, but I have a bundt pan, and it just makes it really pretty. This recipe will do 1 bundt pan or 2 loaf pans. You could do 3 small loaves too as well if you wanted to do that instead. 2/3 cup of water. 3 cups of sugar. Those are 3 heaping cups, but that's okay. My oven just preheated to 350, and let's see. Okay, so that's all of the liquid ingredients here. We'll need this later, so I'll set this aside. All right, this should be mixed enough. You want to make sure that the wet ingredients are mixed really, really, really well, because when you add the dry ingredients to it, you're only going to mix until combined. Not well combined, you don't want to overmix it, just till combined. So this is really your only chance to get all the pumpkin and the egg and all that mixed up properly. All right, should be good. Dry ingredients. Flour, 3½ cups. Two. Three. And there's grooves inside here so I can see. Make sure. Oh. Yep, 1/2 cup groove is to right here, so perfect. 3.5 cups of flour. Let's see, 2 teaspoons baking soda. So make sure there aren't any clumps. So 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm not going through the trouble of measuring. Cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I always do a heaping. A little bit, I think this is better with a little bit more spice in it. Okay. Clove. 1/2 teaspoon. We'll do a little bit more than that, but not quite a whole teaspoon. Nutmeg, 1 teaspoon. I don't go over on the nutmeg too much though. And then ginger. And ginger's a little 1/4. Hope that's ground up enough. This is my ginger from the garden. Ginger, clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, salt, baking soda, flour. Cool. Okay, make sure you mix this really well because it's going to be your last chance to mix it really well by itself because, again, the instructions say to only mix until well combined, or combined, not well combined. All right, I think that's about as much as we need to mix it. Okay, make sure you oil your pan real good. So I've added the oil and I'm just going to mix it around with this brush real quick. Okay, recipe says to bake it at 350 for 50 minutes. And every time I've made this, it's always taken longer than 50 minutes. It's been more like an hour. There we go. I usually make more of a mess than this. So not too bad. I'm just going to wipe off the spots where it kind of dribbled. All right, in the oven I'll set it for 50 minutes and check it, but I already know it's going to be an hour. See you back whenever we check it. All right, I just took it out. I can already tell by looking at it, it was kind of jiggly. Yeah, nowhere near done. So 2 loaf pans would probably be done, but 1 bundt pan is going to take a whole lot longer. I think it's going to need like at least 15 more minutes. It smells so good in here. Let's check it over here. Perfect. Check it one more time over here. Awesome. Okay, so that was 65 minutes in the bundt pan at 350. And now we need to let it sit and rest and cool down quite a bit. Ooh, that was hot. So, like, cooled. So probably at least 20 minutes. I'm going to get it off this part gets warm when the oven's on, so I'm going to move this over somewhere so it can cool down, and then we will cut into it. Ah, the moment I've been waiting for. Look at that. Ah, I can't wait. It's still warm, but it's been sitting on the counter for like, what time is it? I don't even know. Over a half hour. So I'm going to use a spatula. This one's a little different than my other ones, but this is what I have. The other 2 are dirty, so this is like my backup. But I'm not going to use a knife because I don't want to ruin my bundt pan. So don't use any metal on yours. Oops. We oiled the crap out of this, so this part might not be necessary. But when I turn this upside down, it's going to be too late. So, better safe than sorry. Got the edges cleared. All right. Hopefully it's cooled down enough. It's still warm. We'll see. Woo! Perfect. Look at that. Awesome. And then you can ice it. Cream cheese frosting. Oh my gosh. I would love some cream cheese frosting on this. What? That piece that broke off's good. I have cream cheese frosting. Oh! I'm gonna get it. Oh. Well, we could make our own too. I got powdered sugar. I got cream cheese. We'll just use this. Okay, so we definitely need this to cool before we put this on. It's too warm to put this on. One, this might start to melt and get a little liquidy in spots. And two, if it's still too warm when you do that, bread crumbs, like on a cake or pumpkin bread, will lift up and move around inside your icing, and then it kind of just looks like a weird mess. So we're gonna let it cool completely. But I'm still gonna taste it right now. And Evan's gonna be so excited to see it with frosting on it. I'm excited about it too. And if you screw it up, like it don't taste right or whatever, put some icing on it. It fixes everything. Let me get do I have an icing spatula? Maybe. I'm just gonna go ahead and use a knife. I'm sure I got one around here somewhere. And while this was cooling, we got a whole bunch of other stuff done. We got a green bean casserole going on. It needs to go in the oven. It's not in the oven right now because you see this pumpkin guts and pumpkin seeds. We got pumpkins in the oven. We're gonna make pumpkin puree. I use the canned stuff here because I last minute decided to do pumpkin puree, and I had already bought the can. So, anywho, in case you're wondering what's behind me, we've just been busy and I've been getting dirty. So this will go bad before we're done with it, before we have a chance to eat it all. So I'll actually cut it in half and then cut it in quarters. Like I'll cut it in half and I'll ice half for us. And then I'll cut the other half into quarters, and those will go in the freezer. And we'll take a quarter out here and there to snack on as we feel like it. Let me get a plate. Okay, so, ooh, it's still steaming. Can you see the steam? I love pumpkin bread. Yep. So good. I'm going to do a little bit of this on there. You can do butter too. But my favorite frosting is cream cheese frosting. Even better. There wasn't very much on there. I need more. I'm the person at the birthday party that will take everybody else's frosting from their cake or their cupcakes. You want to scoop it off? That's fine. Scoop it right onto my plate and I'll eat it. I love frosting. All right. Y'all gotta try this. Evan comes home from school in a few hours, so we'll get his opinion and see what he thinks about it. And then you'll know. This is so good. Like, I had my one little piece and that's all I'm gonna have, but I want more. And of course, if I didn't say it already, the recipe will be in the description box as usual, or the URL link to the recipe will be there. My birthday is next week, I just realized. Wow. This is a good birthday cake too. If the birthday person loves this kind of thing, throw some icing on it, stick a candle in it, and it is great for birthdays as well. All right, sugar muffin needs to be picked up from school in 30 minutes. So let's get this iced. So we're working on the pumpkins now. They're out. We're gonna puree them. So just ignore whatever you see going on around. We are focused on pumpkin bread. Like I said before, we're gonna freeze half. We're gonna freeze it in quarters like that. And we'll ice this just like this. Nothing Bundt Cake. Have you heard of that place? Well, if you have one near you, they do a pumpkin bundt cake with, I think it's cream cheese frosting, and it really tastes just like this. So if you're wanting to replicate a Nothing Bundt Cake, pumpkin spice, whatever they call theirs, you can just make this pumpkin bread and throw the icing on it. And you can do it all fancy and decorative like they do. I don't really have that kind of skills or patience. And my son's not that picky, so he's picky in general, but he's not going to care how the icing looks. He's just going to be happy that there's icing on it. All right, this is as good as it's going to get. And I used almost the whole thing there. But don't worry, this won't go to waste. I don't know how I'm going to cover it without it sticking to whatever I cover it with. I don't have a cake lid. I see a tote. Oh, okay. Okay, I rinsed it. Let's see if this works. This is... Oh my goodness. Okay. So I rinsed it out so there wouldn't be any dirt or dog hair. But it shouldn't be touching this, so I didn't disinfect it. Okay, it worked. Hey, made a cake pan. Yeah, I got skills. I don't want flies to get in through the little crevasses here and the handle. So, boom. No bugs are going to get in there, and the frosting will dry. And it'll be like a surprise for Evan. Yeah. And then we'll go, ta-da, whenever he gets home. Okay, so I think I'll keep this out for a few days, just in case somebody wants some without any frosting, I mean. And then after a few days, before it starts to mold, I'll get it into the freezer, whatever's left. Just in case. Not everybody has a sweet tooth like me. That piece was not long enough. So saran wrap, and then into a freezer bag. Perfect. All right, Evan, we made you something.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Is that a cake?
It's pumpkin bread, but I put frosting on it.
Really?
Yeah. And then here's some plain pumpkin bread if you don't want it with frosting. But yummy. Do you want a piece?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It looks good, but I don't really know because I like pumpkin bread, but
Just good. You know how I know?
How?
I had some and nothing bundt cake.
Ooh.
You know, nothing bundt cake.
What's that?
The big circle cakes with the fancy frosting. You know, we got the little mini cupcakes for somebody's birthday.
Yeah. It's kind of like cinnamon roll, or looks like one, or cinnamon bun, or honey bun.
Here you go.
All right.
That's what you think.
Let me do a review.
He's gonna do a review.
Oh.
Is it good? Yay!
Wow.
It's
It's like the frosting is like really watery, but that's good. Oop.
The frosting, like, gravity took it down. A lot of it's on this plate here. This might have still, I mean, it is still a touch warm, so maybe it's still warm and it did that, but that's okay. It'll eventually dry and solidify.
It's really good.
Good. All right, guys, thanks for watching. The recipe's in the description, or the URL actually will be in the description. And it's Evan approved, so we'll see you later. I'll pop up some more videos for you to watch over here. And feel free to subscribe and like. I'd appreciate that. And I'll see you next time.
Bye.